Your congress, training, or seminar was planned to be live. Suddenly, you discover that your event must be online. What can you do? How can you start and achieve your goals using digital tools? In the next few minutes, we will give you several practical suggestions, a type of map between your dream and reality. Okay, let's start. It's very simple. You need a script. Then you need to define a format for your event and think about authorizations because of GDPR. Then you need to find a place for the recordings, presentations, and presenters. You need to find illustrations and music. Then, after you define those things, you need to make a production plan and create a timeline with deadlines. Then, you also need to think about how to include the visual identity of the church in connection with the visual identity of the program. I know that you know how to promote your event, but you should probably ask for suggestion about digital marketing. Once these items are defined, then you need to see the finances, make a budget, define the operation and processes, and move ahead. Very simple, huh? Okay, let me analyze each item. Script. You need to write your ideas because content is king. Everything runs around written information. Have one or two main goals and create a script to reach your goals. Plan to involve the world fields and make your program a personal experience. Use touching stories. Use your event to inspire and motivate participants to fulfill the mission of the church. Finally, include "I will go" in everything that you will produce. Once you define the script, you need to choose the format. The script is the flesh. The format is the bones of the program. The structure, the style that will sustain every event. Here are some ideas of format: sermons, presentations, interviews, roundtables, documentaries, and movies. Let me explain each format. Sermon. Well, I think you know what a sermon is. The only difference in an online event is that you need to preach to the cameras, not to the auditorium. So the lenses are the eyes of your audience. If you choose to make a presentation, it can be done with or without illustrations. You can make your illustrations available on Keynote, PowerPoint, photos, videos, graphics, etc. Interviews. Interviews are question and answers with 2 or more people, and usually a round table is a discussion with 4 to 5 people. Documentaries use factual and historic images, but it can also be dramatized. HBO, History Channel, and Discovery have many dramatized documentaries. Movies. Movies are the ideal media to communicate, but they are expensive and take lots of time to create. I strongly suggest your event should have breaks. Those interruptions give time for people to relax, go to the restroom, and stretch the body. Also, you have the opportunity to adjust some last-minute details in your event. Before the breaks, you need to remind participants of the next content, keeping the interest in your event. After the script and format, you need to start thinking about GDPR and copyrights. You will need to secure legal authorizations on content, illustrations, videos, photos, graphics, etc. You will also need to consult your legal counsel if you are collecting participants' data, which will have GDPR implications. GDPR is the General Data Protection Regulation. GDPR and copyright are very important issues to consider. Now that you have the script, format, and start thinking about the authorizations, you need to plan the set or the place where you will do this taping. I strongly suggest for you to record your program in a studio because you will have a better control of the lighting and no noise or interference in the audio. At the studio, you can use green screen or a set. Using a green screen, you will have limitations in your movements, but you can add different backgrounds, creating many possibilities at a very low cost. The set demands plans, design, decoration, and proper lighting. One of the advantages of a set is that you will be able to move more in front of the cameras. Depending on your content, I recommend the use of a green screen. Okay, now let's talk about presenters and presentations. Choose people and content with prayer. This is indispensable. Spiritually committed people will be used by the Holy Spirit, and this makes all the difference in the content. Include prayer in your program. Moments of prayer bring spiritual peace and mission-driven motivation. Now let me give you some best practices for recording a presentation. The lights should illuminate properly the face, especially the eyes, avoiding shadows. Body language speaks louder than words, and eye contact is indispensable. When looking at the camera lens, imagine looking into the eyes of cherished person, your father, mother, brother, sister, a dear friend. Be relaxed and sincere, talking to the people from your heart. Always remember, with cameras, your audience is not far. They are close to you. You are not speaking to an auditorium, but to a person that is on a couch in the living room. Your emphasis on talking to a large auditorium is completely different from a person 1 meter or 3 feet away from you. Keep energy and enthusiasm to someone close to you. When you make a longer presentation, for variety, use 2 or more cameras. It helps to keep the interest of the viewers. The technicians should look carefully to the camera focus, color, and contrast, among some other things. Well, now let us talk about illustrations. They are a great resource to emphasize the presentation, but they shouldn't substitute the presenter. Plan to have images and people from around the world. Use the division leaders and give time for production in the field. It will bring a wonderful variety to your event. Different colors, places, people, races bring an attractive mosaic of the world church. Using a good smartphone properly can be a good option to catch some moments, places, and events. Be sure to have legal authorization for all your photos, videos, and graphics. Okay, music. Please avoid live music. When musicians perform live, it is very common to make mistakes with words, wrong chords, and tuneless moments. Those little mistakes distract from the message. Plan to use video clips and connect your content with well-produced music videos. It empowers your program. Please remember that many parts of the world need music in their events, even when they are technical in nature. Support and appreciate the musicians, and they will support you. Generally, musicians are great influencers. Involving them will expand the dissemination of your event. Don't forget to get authorizations. Always, constantly. Your event needs a consistent visual identity. It is necessary to create an opener because it will be the face of your program. This is a short video clip that includes graphics and music to help define the personality of your event. Remember that the visual identity of your program is an extension of the visual identity of the church. This means you will include the creation grid and the church logo in the correct places. Also, everything needs to have a consistent pattern: design, set, opener, bumps, lower thirds, slates, and graphics. After the recording, your content needs editing, revision, corrections, and computer rendering. Finally, it's ready for delivery. With everything ready, you need to promote using digital tools. There are several channels where your event should be featured, such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Make plans to use the social media of the divisions, unions, and churches. It is a large net that already connects all of us. Once you have everything planned, you need an event budget. Before you will start producing your event, you need a budget to understand your boundaries. Of course, you can also make all the plans under a pre-established budget. Whatever is the financial plan, you need a budget. Then, your budget will be submitted to the cost center treasurer, and after the approval, the project is ready to be realized. We hope and pray your event will be a blessing, a spiritual success. Let us work together to confirm God's kingdom on earth. What a privilege to work serving the mission of the church. All the best, and God bless.